Krista Reichel, and welcome to ABC News. Earlier today, Speaker Boehner and Minority Leader Mitch McConnell both gave their speeches countering President Obama's last week. Boehner's speech entailed venues to combat the exponentially rising federal debt to get the nation back to pre-bailout and pre-stimulus levels for solid economic and financial footing. In his speech, Boehner made it clear that he found the Obama plan flawed, as well as Obama himself.
A path of ruthless government spending, further crippling our nation's economy. President Obama hides these increased government spending increases behind cliches, such as, or is it just a sneaky way to increase spending in fields of his liking?
Although Boehner makes a perfectly valid argument that we do have an enormous debt that we need to overcome, I highly doubt President Obama is being ruthless or sneaky, trying to cripple us, or hiding things from us by pulling the wool over our eyes with cliches. The rest of Boehner's speech discussed their plan in decreasing spending in every program, saying we can do more with less. Letting the private sector be responsible for all jobs, an increase of 1% for defense and security spending, modifications to the health care bill, and disapproval for the higher taxes on the wealthiest 2%. While there was a lot to say about how the plans weren't perfect from Obama's administration, the one thing they could agree on was the 5-year spending freeze. It was realized that this will affect every sector, but will be beneficial in reducing our national debt in the long run.
We do agree with Obama and feel that the freeze can help stabilizing our economy.
While Boehner concluded his speech with the fact that he doesn't want future Americans to feel the burden of these crises, and citing a poll that 87% of Americans feel the same way, it comes into question whether he knows that everyone hates a recession, and we already know that the federal deficit can cause major economic crises because they are already happening today.
With 87% saying that the federal deficit is likely to cause a major economic crisis.
And although 87% know this, it doesn't mean there is 87% of people that back everything Speaker Boehner and his party have outlined, just that we know where our funds stand. Next, we take our attention to Minority Leader Mitch McConnell's speech. McConnell was out of luck today on having his lucky American lapel pin to carry him through his speech, but succeeded in making his point anyway.
So I had an American lapel pin to try to push it all the way, but it fell off somewhere.
McConnell began his speech by giving it to the Americans that are doing their part to weather the storm of the past 18 months, but criticizing the president for not matching his words to his actions.
All of this, of course, is to try to curtail our spiraling deficit, which currently stands at nearly $14 trillion, an increase of more than $1.7 trillion since last year's State of the Union address. This spending now is dangerously close to approaching the debt ceiling level.
He goes on to say that right now the most important thing to focus on is jobs, and that the president may not get the enormity of the situation.
We wonder if the president can truly comprehend the magnitude of the situation in front of us.
He's the president. I think he understands how big of an issue this is. McConnell went on talking about the job numbers being bleak and the 1.5 million Americans that have stopped looking for jobs since August. He then directly asked,
Mr. President, I ask you, where are the jobs?
However, when asked later what exactly McConnell was doing to create jobs, he put the job making on
It's private sector.
So basically saying the president is doing nothing, so criticize him. But McConnell is proposing nothing, but put it on the private sector. They can figure it out. The rest of McConnell's speech entailed him agreeing with the closing tax loopholes, not agreeing with the raising taxes on the wealthiest 2%, increase of exports and free trade agreements with Colombia and Panama, citing the agreement with South Korea as a comparable success, raising questions on where spending cuts are being taken, and the questionable, contentious health care plan that the president avoided speaking about, saying they would continue the fight against it. McConnell wrapped up his speech by stating that Americans are tired of spending borrowed money, that American households have to balance their numbers, and so should the government. And in a moment of enthusiasm,
God bless America.
Both of these speakers raise awareness to the flaws that the Obama administration has in their plans. However, working together may be a better plan instead of saying things like in the words of McConnell,
This fight is not over.
In the future, let's hope these two parties can come together on common ground on all American issues. I'm Krista Reichel, and thank you for tuning in to ABC News.